Let me explain European politics for Americans. Let's say that you have a party that promises to end mass migration in the European Union. And that party wins 49% of the votes. Immediately, what you're going to see is the socialists, the communists, the fascists, the Christian Democrats, the monarchists, the central liberals, the central right wing, all forming a coalition to govern with 51% of the votes and constantly pass legislation to terrorize the citizens that voted for the other party, which they now call far right. And so, as you can imagine, with this way of doing politics, the leaders of Europe are insanely unpopular. Like Keir Starmer, one of the most unpopular prime ministers in modern history in the UK. You have Emmanuel Macron, also insanely unpopular. All of them are unpopular because of the way they govern. And so they're terrified. Like, they're terrified that their grift is coming to an end. You see, they don't actually produce wealth. They're not business people. They do not produce things. They only survive on the taxpayer money. And so if they happen to lose their seats, well, they don't have anything else, right? And so, again, they're terrified. And they require to force the public to vote for them. Now, in order to do that, they have to rely on censorship. They have to rely on authoritarian measures. They pretty much look at China and they try to copy what the Chinese are doing. And so they've noticed that in China, when you want to use the internet, you gotta scan your face. Now, the Chinese didn't sell it to protect the children. They sold it as building a society on trust. And so the European Union is selling it that they're protecting kids. Another thing that they've noticed is that while they control the mainstream media, they control the press, they control the TVs, they don't really control the online space. And the biggest horror for European parties is citizens just talking to each other. And much of the right wing have been spread through the online communities. Whether it was forums, whether it was social media websites, people just talk to each other and they said, well, hold on a little bit, like the shit that I've learned in school isn't the only way of doing things. Like, maybe you can be nationalist without being Hitler. The problem with Hitler wasn't the fact that he had borders, right? Like, people start spreading these very dangerous ideas. And so you end up with political parties like Le Pen's or the AFD, right? Like the horror of Europe. And so they decided that they can control what people say on social media by, well, bullying online platforms. And notice how they're mainly targeting Elon Musk's platform, which wants free speech. The United States recently revealed that the European Union has been working very hard in order to crack down on the internet. And now they're also looking at online gaming. Because, again, video games have chat rooms, video games create communities, and everything that they don't control is a danger to their democracy. So you have Emmanuel Macron coming up with, he actually likes video games. Wow, literally part of the Anita Sarkeesian's playbook. Like, look, I've done this dance, okay? Like, I've already been traumatized by ideologues that start with, I love video games. No gamer in 2026 says, I love video games. Not in the state that the gaming industry is at right now, alright? So when I hear someone, I love video games, it's like, hello, fellow kids, let me fuck your hobbies even further. Yes, I can definitely imagine Emmanuel Macron playing Call of Duty. He loves video games. What video games do you think he loves, huh? Do you think he plays Path of Exile? Like what exactly are we talking about? Yes, Emmanuel Macron loves video games. He is proud of them. All of them, by the way. Every single one. Do you think he's proud of Nikkei? Huh? Is he proud of Stellar Blade? Does he like those Asian titties? Like, which video games is he proud of? But we must also seriously examine certain practices and their effects. So yeah, like he wants scientific research. Let me tell you something about scientific research. Most people, they're thinking about the scientist as God nowadays. It's like the scientist is kind of like the clergy of 2026. Listen, I do agree that the science has taken us closer to the truth than anything else that humanity has created. But there are two types of sciences, right? Like the first type of science is the practical one. Like, okay, a new surgery procedure, how to launch rockets onto the moon. Like these are tangible things that the scientists make. But then you also have like the social science, the manipulation shit, the one that doesn't use scientific theory. The one that basically says video games cause violence, you know? And you gotta wonder, like, who makes these claims? Well, the scientists. Like, perfect. Who pays for this, right? Like, who is paying the scientists? Well, the government. Who is the government? Emmanuel Macron. Right, you think that there's a little bit of a conflict of interest there? I'm just saying, like, if you're basically saying, well, what the science says, we have to abide, and then, like, the politicians are the ones that direct the funds, like, which scientists get what grants, and stuff like that, well, I mean, the science is going to be whatever the politicians want it, right? If you don't play ball, you don't get grant. Simple. And so, like, you can also notice how if a scientist goes against the agenda, he can lose his job. He can get fired. Not for, like, commenting against the agenda, but, like, they can find reason to fire him. Like, we already saw how things work during COVID. And so, I don't believe it for a second. It's like, okay, well, the science is going to decide if children are and aren't allowed to play video games. It's like, no, I think, like, you're looking at the Chinese science, right? So, like, what China does is they had the same issue, because most of the people that are revolutionary oriented are the teenagers. And so they want the teenagers to be leftist revolutionaries. They want to be revolutionaries on behalf of the government, right? To create, like, fictional problems and basically, like, use the teenagers to channel the revolutionary spirit against fictional problems. Like the patriarchy, right? Or the systemic injustices of white supremacy, whatever the case may be, right? They don't want teenagers to actually realize that, hold on a little bit, like, do we really need to live this way? Like, why is it that my father had more body than me? Why is it that my dad was able to afford the home and I can't, right? They don't want teenagers to ask these questions. And so by making sure that every single teenager doxes themselves, is monitored by the government, every type of conversation is documented and shit like that, they get control. And so, yeah, like in China, there's like a couple of hours per day that kids are allowed to play at the computer, and this is what France wants to do, which is, again, like for the betterment of their children. The betterment of the children would actually be to allow parents to parent, and to, like, force some social stigma on bad parenting. Like, that would genuinely help children. This doesn't, okay? Like, this is just authoritarian fascist shit that they're pulling. And you can look at China, and you can see how the European Union wants to be. They will use different justifications, but they want the same system. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.